So, giving and receiving. Sometimes that means top or bottom, or active or passive, or active bottom, or service top, or versatile. There's so many definitions of what it means to give and receive when it comes to gay sex that it can get pretty confusing sometimes. And how many times in the bedroom I'm wondering, have you thought everything was going really well, and then only to suddenly find yourself in a bit of a tangle, and maybe not the good kind, with one of you feeling confused or maybe even upset. And that's often because what one person thinks of as giving or receiving isn't quite the same as what the other person does. And so without clear understanding and agreements, things can get quite muddy quite fast. But the good news is it doesn't have to be as complicated as you might think. So here are 4 essential steps that I use, which I think can help you to have a more enjoyable experience of giving and receiving. Oh, and spoiler alert, it's not about who puts which body part in which other body part. So step 1, learn what you want. So the crucial first step with all of this is to get much better at noticing what you want for yourself, and also actually trusting and valuing your needs and desires rather than ignoring them, which a lot of us tend to do. And that might sound like quite a radical proposition, especially given the fact that the world often tells us it's rude to want things. But trust me, it's fundamental if you want to learn how to give and receive more enjoyably. Step 2, ask for what you want. So once you get better at noticing what you want, you then need to ask for it. So you could ask someone to take action for you. So you might ask somebody to give you a sensual massage. Or you can ask to take action yourself. So, for example, if you wanted to penetrate the person that you're playing with. But either way, most people aren't mind readers, so it's pretty unlikely that you'll get what you want, consentingly that is, until you ask for it. And no, giving somebody a blowjob in the hope that they'll give you one in return really doesn't count. So step 3, create better boundaries. Nobody likes to be taken advantage of. But when you know how to identify what you do want, see steps 1 and 2, it gets so much easier to recognize what you don't want when you encounter it. And what this means is it's much easier to set clear limits before things go too far, and then also to be able to stick to them without feeling awkward or unsure. Step 4, give without overgiving. So knowing what you want means that you can choose to willingly set it to one side, at least for a little while, in order to give much more generously and much more joyfully for somebody else's benefit. So being able to tell where your willingness starts and ends is one of the things which can really help you to be able to give without giving too much. So knowing what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, knowing when you need to stop, and being able to communicate all of this is going to help you to be much more generous when you're giving. So in a nutshell, the secret ingredient at the heart of being able to give and receive better is knowing what you want. So I think knowing what you want is the key to being able to ask for it and to get it. Knowing what you want is key to creating better boundaries when it comes to what you don't want. And knowing what you want enables you to be able to put that aside for a while and give more generously. So I think getting good at knowing what you want is really the surest way to much more enjoyable giving and receiving for everybody involved, not just for you. So if you want to find out more about how you can learn these skills in a practical and hands-on way with me, then check out my website.